The tall trees had been here since before the Great Flood, their roots like tangled gray beards. Even the oldest villagers couldn't remember when the forest had been planted, yet it was always there, looming, silent, forbidding. It was so dense that sunlight struggled to penetrate the canopy, leaving the ground in perpetual twilight. Vines as thick as pythons hung from the trees, forming a net that trapped the sunlight and the sound of the outside world. The air was heavy, still, hot. No birds sang, no insects buzzed, not even the distant call of a crow or the chirp of a cricket. There was only a strange, unsettling quiet. It was as if the jungle itself was holding its breath. Arjun walked on, deeper into the green gloom. The floor was a treacherous carpet of rotting vegetation, slick with damp moss. Here and there, a gnarled tree lay across the path, a fallen giant brought low by some unseen blight. Every now and then, a lizard dashed across his path, startled by his intrusion, or a bird took flight, momentarily disturbing the oppressive calm. But these were just fleeting visitors. Nothing belonged to this place, not even the dust motes dancing in the weak light that filtered through the leaves. He stopped, listening intently. Had someone screamed? A woman's voice, high and thin and laced with terror. Then silence again. Perhaps it was just the wind, yet he could have sworn that the voice had come from the house. The house that had no windows or door, only a gaping black hole where the front wall should have been. Time had stripped away all trace of its former grandeur, leaving just a broken lintel above the empty doorway. Ivy crept up its sides, reaching for the rotting roof, and a tangle of vines obscured its windows. Yet despite its dilapidated state, there was something undeniably noble about the ruin, a trace of elegance amidst the decay, like a beautiful woman grown old and haggard. He stepped closer, peering through the gloom into the darkness within. Could he really be the first human to set foot in this place in centuries? Was the jungle itself a figment of his obsession, a hallucination brought on by his fevered mind? Or was he really standing at the edge of the world, confronting the ultimate mystery? Suddenly the ground beneath his feet shifted. Startled, he looked down to see a small spider scootering away from his boot. A shiver ran down his spine. If even this place shunned, even this forsaken spot in the middle of nowhere, drew life to it, how could he stand here without feeling its presence? Tentatively, he reached out and touched the rough bark of a nearby tree. It was warm, almost inviting. And in that moment, he knew he wasn't alone. A twig snapped in the undergrowth behind him and he whirled around, his heart pounding. Nothing. Only the rustling of leaves and the distant cawing of crows. Still, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched, that something unseen was regarding him from the shadows. The old man's warning echoed in his ears. If you enter, you may not return. Had he been right? Was he in danger? Or was it all in his mind? Driven by a sudden, inexplicable urge to flee, Arjun turned and ran, crashing through the undergrowth, ignoring the scratches and bites of angry insects, his eyes fixed on the fading light ahead. He burst out of the trees and stumbled onto the path, collapsing onto the dusty road, gasping for breath. The jungle seemed to loom over him, watching, waiting. He pulled himself together, wiping the sweat and blood from his face. What had been in that house? Why had he felt so sure that he wasn't alone? And why had he fled without a backward glance? As he made his way back to the village, the jungle receded into the distance, becoming nothing more than a dark stain on the horizon. Yet he couldn't shake the feeling that he had been changed by his experience, marked in some way by the presence of the unseen. He had sought answers in the jungle, but perhaps some mysteries are best left unsolved.